Alright, here we are again, looking at auto parts. As I was prepping the cylinder head, starting to assemble it, going over the little intricacies of trying to equalize everything. I got a couple of valve springs in it so far. They're set at 2.050 installed height. I'm right on the money. Then we got the next one here. Look at the micrometer there. You'll see that 0 and that 1. 50. That's a 2-inch valve spring caliper. I think it'd go to like 2.20. But what that 1 is an inch, and then there's already, you figure, an inch in the caliper, and then you swing around there. That's your thousandths. You get on that 50, you just 0 lash that motherfucker to where it's good and snug. So we got 2.050 there. Also, but getting them son of bitches there, it takes some tricks sometimes. You gotta get tricky. It's like when I first put this motherfucker, when I set this one up, I put the locks in it and I run the caliper down, and I had 2.060, which in my world, that's 10 thousandths too much. These valve springs call for an installed height of 2.050. So, I mean, you can get by with, 10 or 15 thousandths either way and be fine in layman's terms. But if you're trying to build if you want to get every last horsepower out of that motherfucker, you want to go over that kind of shit with a fine-tooth comb. Make sure they're all exactly the same. How you ask? Does one get them all the same? Most of your fucking shim kits these days seem to come in a 15 thousandths, a 30 thousandths, a 60 thousandths. And I vaguely remember back in the day you could get fucking 10 thousandths, 20 thousandths, 40 thousandths. But they've narrowed it down to 3 fucking sizes now for some reason. But you can take them, you can buy you a pack of fucking shim selection of your 15s, your 30s, and your 60s. And take your fucking dial indicator there and start measuring them bastards. There they are. There are 60s there, allegedly. But you got your 60s there. You start measuring them fuckers. This one on the end allowed to be 58. That's allowed to be 61. That's allowed to be 57. That's allowed to be 62. So the shit can vary by a couple thousandths on just the fucking shims that come in the same pack. And it's the same way with the, you got these 10-degree comp super fucking locks or whatever the hell they're called. But they're 10-degree keepers, 10-degree valve locks. When I first put this one, set this one here up, and checked it, and it was 2.060. What I did was I went through my fucking locks here. This is the first two locks I used on it. That's what I got the 2060 with. I went through my locks here and grabbed a couple of more and stuck them in there, and it brought it up to where I got an accurate measurement. And there's 10 thousandths difference between these two locks and two that I got out of the pile. And now I got a perfect 250, 2.050 install height. So you juggle that shit around, you measure what you got. If you couple of thousandths off here or there, you measure your shim. And also your fucking retainers can make a difference. I've seen as much as 5-10 thousandths difference just in the goddamn retainers. So you might have to juggle that shit around and spend all fucking night doing it. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but the difference in them shims, you got a 57 and a 62 and a 58 and all that shit. And if your shit's at like 147 or something, you need a fucking shim that's like 3 inches thick or 3 thousandths thicker than the one you got on there. You measure through and get the thick shim, put it under there, and then you'll measure out and be in spec. It shit makes a difference though. These Valvesprings are designed, the pressure rating on them is designed at a certain installed height. Like these springs here are designed to go at 2.050, and they claim 825 lift capable, but I just leave a little mark for myself. I'd feel better at 800 lift max, because the coil bind and 825 lift, it'd leave you like 60 thousandths. I like about 100 before coil bind. So I'd call it, they're good for 800 lift. These ain't the isky springs I was going to use on these heads. I decided them would be better for some small block Chevy heads I'm fucking with. It's fixing to get a rather large roller. What these are is 26 115 comp cam springs. That pressure on them, they're actually not real fucking, they're 228 pounds at 2050 installed and 636 at 1300. So at 750 lift, you get 636 pounds. So they're not, they're fucking stiff, but they ain't real goddamn stiff. not for an 800 lift cam, so they won't beat the shit out of the valve train. These fucking springs are like 650, 700 bucks a set. These fucking, I forgot what the hell they call them. Dura something. They're special. And here's the shit required to put these fucking heads together and set this bullshit up. I'm using Manley plus 100 installed height retainers, 10 degree. Those pretty good. I think they're 1.55 diameter. Good shit. And then these comp cams, fucking SuperLocks or whatever the hell they call them, 10 degree. And these fucking, I think these are like Del West spring locators. They fit these fucking springs perfect. And then I'm going with the seals with the steel on them. They got bored, stuck in the fucking house. Still got a winter fucking wonderland outside. Walk out the door and you bust your ass. I don't think that shit's ever gonna melt. So, fucking around in the house a lot. Around the garage a little while, but fucking, even with the heater running wide open, if you get up 55 degrees, you're doing good. And I'm really from the deep south, so I didn't grow up with that cold shit, so I'll always have that southern blood. Warm winters, oh, it's fucking snow and shit. Puts a halt to my situation, but then I just gotta bring it indoors here. Bring the R&D indoors. Yeah, I'm using these fucking comp 2615s here. 800. There's your 1.165 coil bind. Go ahead and get these heads ready for action. Get my goddamn big blocks back from the machine shop. I pretty much got all the parts for 3 of them. I get my damn blocks back and get my ass busy putting these fucking things together. These heads here, they ought to make some pretty good power. They should do pretty damn good. That job, the misc springs I had in it, they were 750 lift was pushing it with them. Which I have several big ass, big block Chevy roller cams. But 750 lift was, like I said, it was pushing it with them misc springs. These springs here, comp claims they're good to 825, but with my calculations and shit, I'd feel safe up to about 800. I have a 775 intake, 748 exhaust. I think it's 288, 296 at 50. It's like a fucking late 80s super gas cam. That's a big motherfucker. I might end up using it with this shit. If I don't use it, I got a big Lanati 735 or 730 lift solid roller. I use it with these, but these springs here, they good springs. Comp shit. I've had these fucking things tucked away in a box for years. But they're good to go. Saving a lot of that shit for years. If you installed height, if your fucking spring says you got 200 pounds at 2-inch installed height, and you install it at a 1/800, then that 200 pounds is going to jump up considerably. It might be 50 pounds difference. So your 200 pounds is going to turn into 250 on the seat. Or if you put it in at 2.200 installed height, that 200 pounds on your seat is going to be fucking 160. Not enough. So it's critical to get that, whatever. These are fucking comp cam springs, and comp cam says to install that spring at 2.050 installed height. So that's exactly where I'm gonna fucking put that son of a bitch. That way I have 0 worries, and I ain't running. Shit, I'd trust it to 800 lift, but I ain't running that much lift. Not that much less, but not that much, so I believe I'll be fine. These ain't near as stiff as the PSI springs I got them. Fucking heads there. They're like, shit, 280 at 2050, and like fucking 800 at 1250. But these will work fine with the bump sticks I got. So I've had these comp springs for a minute, and might as well use them son of a bitches. I ain't big into shit's all new. You're using good shit. Ain't no point in going crazy with lapping the fucking valves unless I throw a little Dykem blue on there and then chuck a valve up in there and put the old spin to it and see how the line lays. If it's got some skip spots and shit, then you need to address that. But it's just to see if you need to do anything. If you got a good even line all the way around on your valve seat and on your valve, pretty much you're good to go. Fucking put them bastards in there. I don't use a drill. You can't. You drill, you allow to fucking. Ain't no shit. You can measure your installed height before you use a drill on it. So you got 2-inch installed height. You go through some valve grinding compound on there and get your big 1/2-inch drive. Benford 5000 fucking drill on that motherfucker. You go tugging on that son of a bitch, lapping your valves. When you're done, you take that drill off. First thing you notice, where you chucked your valve up in that fucking drill is allowed to be scarred. And then your goddamn valve seats ought to be 15 thousandths higher. You ought to have sunk your valve 15 thousandths in your fucking seat. Throw your shit out of whack. It's best if they're all the same. Fucking all your valves are the same height and shit. Just that way, like you order push rods and shit, every push rod be the exact same length, and if all your valve trains the same length, you're good to go. But you got shits, some taller and some shorter, allow to make you put your geometry, throw it out of whack. So I don't go crazy with lapping the fucking valves on brand new shit. If it was grandpa's old fucking 1949 AN4 fucking tractor, trying to get it going out in the field, that might be a different story, but it's not needed most of the time. But all these fuckers, they all sealed up. The ridge is taken out. So, got a pretty nice valve job. So they'll be okay. Those are 360 cc intake ports. I forgot what the exhaust are. They're like fucking 145 or something. 225, 188 valves. I ain't gonna quote no flow numbers, but people have flowed these and they'll definitely support some fucking horsepower. Got a 250 tall and a 178 wide intake runner. Rectangle port. They left out the center hole, so your stock shit won't bolt up. You're gonna have to use like a Super Victor. They flow quite a fucking bit actually. They'll support 800 horse, no problem. It's probably the neighborhood. The engine these fuckers are going on. It's gonna be in that neighborhood, 750 to 800 horse anyway. The crankshaft is one of these units here. Maybe it's, I guess, the one under there. There's a Moldex crank. Reith Automotive Moldex. Lightweight motherfucker from back in the day. Got balanced aluminum rods and fucking lightweight ass pistons to go with the little shit right here. That's the shit that goes with that Moldex crank. Fucking hardcore. Engine was built and fucking sat in a fucking dude's building for years, and then he died and shit got disassembled. I ended up with it. I haven't been doing much lately though. It's been so fucking cold. That shit distracts the fuck out of me. I can't stand the cold. I'm not cut out for it. Here's my big Oldsmobile Super Victor with a Dominator on it. Now looking at these Chet Herbert cams. I ordered one for a small block Chevy I'm fucking with. It's I think it's a 630 lift, 270, 275 at 50, 106 load separation, solid roller. Now fucking, they have options. You can order a 106, 108, 110, 112 load separation. You can order a 4.7 swap. You can order a fucking cast iron distributor gear pressed on, so you ain't gotta fuck with the bronze gear. But it's a billet roller cam. So it's a custom order cam. I paid like fucking $330 for it. It's exactly what I need for the particular engine I'm fucking with. One of them. But they also sell cams for Oldsmobiles, and Pontiacs, and Buicks, and shit, and Mopars, and Fords, and fucking Herbert Cam's been around. You know, dude was a top fuel drag racer back in the 60s and 70s, and his son took over. I think he's a big top fuel drag racer also. But they grind their own cams. They're one of the oldest cam companies still in operation. Well, they might have been the first cam company. I think the old senior passed away years ago, but the son keeping them going. But their fucking prices are hard to beat. And I've used their shit, several engines over the years, and it's always been top notch. Good as fucking anything. And you order it, they make it. They pull out a blank and grind you up a cam, so pretty much damn near every order is a custom cam. But they're Pontiacs and Oldsmobiles. The Pontiac cams are, for a good solid roller, they're like $480. And the Oldsmobile's like $530. But they got roller lifters and shit for Pontiacs and Oldsmobiles and Chevys, and they range in price from $400 a set to $1,200 plus. But they got about any fucking valve train shit you could possibly need, and more than reasonable prices. The Chet Herbert cams, can't go wrong with them. I think these heads were advertised when I bought them. I bought these things about 7 years ago. I just tucked them away. I think they advertised like 115cc chambers, which I've heard different shit, but I think they're more than likely 119cc, maybe even 120. I'm probably going to take about, 24 thousandths off of them. Take about 4 cc's off of that. Get this engine up. It's going to be over 13.5 to 1 compression. Going on a 496 with a big ass roller. Super Victor. Either going to use a Super Victor or a Dart single plane intake. 1150 Dominator. I have to run it on fucking E85 also. But I'll just take one of my Dominators and get some meter and blocks and shit and convert it. It's not hard to convert a Dominator. They're already rich as hell anyway. So I just have to increase my fuel pump capacity. I already have big ass fuel lines and all my shit, so they'll handle alcohol resistant. Number 8 fuel lines. So I'll be okay there. Which I got big fuel pumps and all my shit too, but I don't know if they're E85 compatible, so I'll have to look into that. These are pretty good heads. These fuckers, oh, this shit adds up. You figure these fucking springs will set you back $650, $700. These retainers are like 120. Fucking locks are like over 100. Fucking valves are $200 for the exhaust. About the same for the intake, so $400 in valves. So there's fucking, let's see, 1,050. There's pretty much 1,300. You add in the seals, you might as well just call it 1,300. And just the fucking valves and shit. I think I paid about $1,200-1,400 for these bear castings about 8 years ago. But these are the same castings that PROMAXX is using now. I think these were Liberty or some shit when I bought them. But FLOTEK uses them. Liberty, PROMAXX. I'm sure there's others, but it's one of the better import heads. I think it's based on a 90s model Brodix head. Exhaust ports and shit. The giveaway. Instead of the big squares, you get the oval shape. But they're pretty damn good heads. But I'll still have shit 2,500 fucking probably 2,500 to $3,000 tied up in these motherfuckers when it's all done and said. So there's no way to even building it cheap. It ain't fucking cheap. you want to use good shit. These are good fucking valves. Ferrea. Good tough shit. All this shit's good. These are fucking some kind of exotic fucking alloy. NASCAR shit. Forget what they call them, but they're good shit. And they fit these fucking springs like they were made for them. These retainers fit these fucking springs perfect. And these are my preferred valve seals. You can't go wrong with these. You pretty much press them on, but I like to take a 12-point socket and give them a little nudge with this fucking hammer. After I get these fuckers in here, I like to give them a little whack. Seat them retainers. It helps. But I don't like to use metal hammers. That's why I use that rubber tip motherfucker there, so it ain't. You take a fucking ball peen hammer and whack on them fuckers, to mar the end of the valve or some shit. So you use a big dead blow, give it a whack, you ain't gonna damage nothing. This is what I do in the fucking winter time. Fucking got your coffee, got your cancer sticks, got your roll your own. Can't beat these fucking headstands here when you're fucking with these things. Like fucking with the valves and shit. Can't beat them. I paid like $35 for them or some shit. And here's the exhaust valves for the other head. For this one, I got it painted up, ready to fucking see what it's looking like. You can't beat this old Manley shit. It's been around forever. Pretty good shit. High quality. It's not the cheapest in the world, but I've never had no trouble with any Manley. They make a bunch of shit. Valve train components and valves and everything related to that shit. Make nice rocker arms and connecting rods and shit too. Pistons. High quality shit. That's the thing, you want to use the best shit you can get. That's the secret to all this. Might take a while to collect up, but you can do it. There it is.